come and see the lavender. People think that lavender is purple and smell nice. That's all they know. But do you know that we have 20 different colors? We have red, we have pink, we have white, we have blue, we have all kinds of purple, from light purple to dark purple. And because that is why lavender is blooming all over the United States. I do have customers all over the United States, which I also had the opportunity to travel all over the United States, as far as the Middle East, which is North Africa. Believe it or not, I have been in Syria, in Israel. That's scary places.
Yeah.
But I've been there. When I got the invitation, my wife got a little scared, and I said, don't worry. If I come back alive, we'll take it over. And I'm right here. Anyway, you are talking with a person that have killed more lavender plants than nobody on earth. And it is a true story. It is not a lie. I've been doing lavender from 20-something years, 1995 until now. That's a long time. Making all kinds of mistakes. I wish back then I had seminars like this where I can go and ask questions. So I hope you ask questions. I love questions. Even that question, that says, how can I kill the lavender? You can even ask that question. It's okay. I will tell you how you do it. I will not lie to you. So, making all kinds of mistakes, travel all over, teaching and learning. I have propagated close to 500,000 per year, and believe it or not, before the year ends, I have no lavender. Sold out.
Wow.
I have special varieties that everybody likes. I need to have the skills and the knowledge to help you as a consumer understand which variety is the best one for you. That's why you see these beautiful varieties right here. This came from me. They came to me, and now I'm coming to them. Okay? Before they start any of this, they came to Sequim and consult with me and ask all these questions that they need to ask, and they did ask the right ones. And results of that, this is what we get. They also need to understand what to expect from now for the future. Lavender is growing all over the United States. I have over 450 varieties, and we have growing right here 6 varieties. So I wanna introduce everybody to you, Anna. Anna, thank you for coming to my class. She is Anna. She is the one creating this beautiful area for you. So yeah, she came 3 years ago. I met Anna 3 years ago in Sequim. They don't know what is a Sequim, Anna. Can you believe that? Yeah, she didn't know either. But Sequim is the lavender capital of North America. We have, like I said, 40 farms in one tiny town with only 4,000 residents. We have the festival next month, the 16th, 17th, and 18th. So when all these people come from, you name it, these 4,000 residents, they go away. They don't stay home. They know when the Lavender Festival is, and they said, I'm right here. Because people come and take over town. But we love it because everybody makes money, including myself. I sold more lavender plants than you can ever imagine. And that will happen in here. This is only the beginning. But that's why I'm here, to help the consumers understand when you buy a lavender plant, what to do with that. And you need to know that, number one, where you are located, which I don't know where everybody is from. Everybody from Wasco, everybody from Bakersfield, everybody from Bakersfield. You didn't invite, Paso Robos, Ojai, Santa Barbara. You guys need to know the whole coast is full with lavender and it's growing beautiful. And we are really close by from the coast, so that's why we have these beauties. So we have 3 requirements or 4 requirements to grow a nice healthy lavender plant, which will be full sun, well drained soil, rocky sandy loam soil, watered by underneath on drip system. Do never put the sprinklers on. Lavender do not compete with other flowers. Lavender likes to have the space to grow. The right space will be 3 feet apart, one from another. And then when you enjoy those beautiful flowers, they come, they bloom, and eventually they don't look nice anymore. We need to cut those flowers off. It is not something that, it is not a choice. Even you cut those flowers off and throw it away or give it away, or your plant will give up. That's the most important part that you have to do with your lavender. Whether you need the flowers or not, we have to cut it. So Anna is inviting, is looking for help right now. You can see how many flowers you have to cut. Oh my God. Eh? Poor Anna. The good thing is I'm leaving tomorrow. Oh wait, I know how hard it is. It is a lot of work. So those are the 4 requirements to grow a healthy lavender plant. And lavender is a Mediterranean lavender plant which likes to grow in really poor soil conditions with very little water. That's the nature of this plant. That's where the lavender is growing. Over there, in some countries, they never put 1 drip of water on the lavender.
Wow.
And Sequim, only because I need my plants to produce cuttings, I have to water. But the rest of the farm, they never put 1 drip of water in those plants. Never. But there is the confusion again. Now, customers, people come and say, well, I read that. Well, you said, Victor, in the festival, the lavender don't take water. Yes, but you are in California. See, you are in a desert. You are in 100 and, but how hot is today? 90?
95.
95. Can you imagine that? And you have this tiny plant. And you have this tiny plant. And 2 to 3 hours, this will be dying. The heat is cooking them. Now, once they come to that point, so if Anna decides not to water those anymore, it can stop the water completely. But this is a business, and this is an agritourism business. So we want these plants to be beautiful, healthy, green, and we want those flowers to be, like supposed to be. The plant will not die, but the flowers will. See, Anna may decide to say, no, I don't want to water anymore. It's fine. Those plants will not die. They will be looking like that. As soon as little rain comes, that's all the lavender takes. Come back the bush. But all those flowers that you see, they will be not there. Every single flower will be dead. So that's why Anna needs to water this. And how much water? How much is too much? You need to know that the only thing that will kill a lavender plant, it is the water. That's about the only thing. Too much? Too much water or not enough water? So how much is too much? And we start by knowing what type of soil I have. I start by knowing what size of plant I have. And I start with knowing where I'm located. See? And how much can I put to this little plant right here. Very first thing that I do, I never plant these tiny lavenders with flowers. I need to cut those flowers off before I plant them. How low?
Wow.
That low. Now I can put this plant in my garden. 3 feet apart from anything. From your roses, from your dahlias, from your 3 feet apart. They like to have the space in the air circulation. You want to see this type of lavender looking like that. 3 feet apart from anything. No sprinkler. I don't put the sprinkle on. I don't keep this on a clock. 5 o'clock in the morning, the drip irrigation comes and water everything, including the lavender. Eventually, your lavender will give up. Flower will wilt, plant will be woody, plant will split in two, and you will never have a beautiful, healthy bush. You may get some flowers here and there. I will dig a hole 2 times bigger than the root ball, 2 times deeper and 2 times wider. I will never try to touch those roots just with my hand if I don't have gloves. Lavender gets very sensitive to fungus. So just by touching the roots, if I don't have gloves, they may get fungus. Not a bad disease, not something that will kill everything else, but that specific plant may die. Only that plant. If I want to get 100% gloves, do a good job in the beginning. And lavender likes calcium, extra calcium. So that's why we always use bone meal as an extra calcium. Half a cup per plant. That's all I need. Mix that really, really good with the soil. Put your lavender in and draw your drip irrigation, or just with a hose, but put the water in the base of the plant. Do not just hit the forest. How much water? Water soak them wet. Let it dry up completely before put the water. Then eventually the plants will be this big. How often you water them? Once or twice a week.
Is it, huh?
Once or twice a week.
It's only a few hours, so we only do a gallon each day that we water.
So see, don't take much water, but I think Anna can also leave the water and soak the soil wet, because now the plant is creating shade, see? So the sun is not really going through, and I want to send that water deeper. And then she can maybe water once a week, but we always have to watch the weather. And you always have to see what is working for me better. And this is for a business purpose, so she needs to, the water is very important for her. But for the garden, you don't need to water that often when they get that big. Any questions so far?
Should you start it up in the house or just immediately plant it in your garden?
Yeah, no, lavender don't likes to be inside any building. Don't like to be shady. Needs to be full sun. And remember, you need to buy the right variety for your area. I have seen varieties. I've been driving around and I see lavender in homes. Lavender is not looking good. It's not a variety for here. If you come and see few flowers here and there, or the flowers comes and die immediately, they don't have the right varieties.
How long should they bloom for? How long should they stay blooming?
Depends on the varieties. Right here we have two groups, which we have the English variety, which is the true lavenders, and then we have the French variety. You can identify them by the length of the stem. Every time you hear an English variety, and when you're buying it in the retail center or here, I mean, in the back of the label says if it is an English or a French variety. The English blooms early and grow very short stems. So we have a field in front of you over there. All those are English. Early bloomers, short stems. And then right here we have two varieties, or three. These are French varieties, and the length of the stem go up to 22 inches long. And those grow only about 8 to 12 inches long, depends on the variety. So you can tell them by that, and also by the early bloom. This is a late bloomer, those are an early bloomer.
So how long, like if they once they start to bloom, will they bloom just one time and then they're done, or how does that work?
They bloom one time. If you water them really nice, like you're supposed to, up to close to 2 months.
Okay.
But only one time.
Okay.
Now, if those flowers die, they don't look attractive anymore, and you living in a climate like this, you make a really nice trim, and you plant bloom back again. It's good and bad. You get two blooms, but I don't like to see happening because that's the sign that says the lavender will give up soon.
Okay.
So the life of the plant depends on where the plant is located. Right here, I will suspect for commercial production, I don't see more than 12 years, which for me, commercial productions, we go up to 40 years. So we only planted once, and who cares 40 years from now?
Yeah. When you replace the plant, the lifespan, is there certain things you have to do to the ground again, or just plant it back? Cuando digamos que ese va a cambiar otra vez, la saca y tiene que voltear la tierra de nuevo.
No, the question is if when we replant, we have to plow, we have to do this, we have to do a whole soil prep again. If we remove some of these plants right in the same spot, I can plant a new one. If I will rotate a whole field, then yes, we need to dig, plow, we need to disc. Like for this business right here, they need to make a soil test, they need to make a soil analysis, they make all this stuff in order to make sure that we get this. If you don't do any of that, once the plant is there, there's nothing you can do about it. It's too late. So no, you only planted once. Just more very important that sandy, rocky loam soils. That's where the lavender likes. Full sun, drip irrigation, and learn how to water. That's the number one problem that I see people getting a hard time getting how much water. They even are not putting enough, or they are way too much water, which they are killing the lavender plant. So the water is the hard part from the beginning of the carrying to the end of this. So yeah, if you do everything right here for the garden, yeah, you would have a lavender plant blooming forever. But the flowers will be not attractive as the year goes on and on. The flowers not looks that attractive anymore. So for a business purposes, we get to that point that says these plants are not producing anymore. It's time to rotate. They don't have to do nothing to the soil other than replace all those plants. These get plowed. They already know what they have, and plant new ones. That's what they need to do. Nothing else. Questions? There is no
the seed for these. How do you know when it's ready to use that seed to replant? Is there a certain?
Okay, that's a good question. So all the French, all these long stems, that's sterile. They don't produce seeds.
Okay.
The only way to reproduce that, which I will show you how to make a new plant shortly, is by a carrying from the stack to a carrying. Now, the true lavenders, the English, the early bloomers, they do produce seeds. Those over there, they do produce seeds. If they don't cut those flowers soon, now all the flowers will go into seeds, and they would have a lot of plants growing all over. If they don't cut those flowers when they're fresh, that may be a jungle of lavender over there. Because all those seeds would be just on that soil that they don't need to replant, they would be growing all over. But that's not that good. You need to train the lavender to stay like a bush, and that would be not that case because they cut those flowers to make oil or to make everything they do. But if they leave the flowers on, everything will be seeds. But they do produce seeds.
Okay.
And these don't produce seeds. This is a sterile. The only way is to get it from carriers. And buying a lavender plant and this Home Depot or Lowe's or Walmart, those plants came from a seed. So for areas like this, I don't see being a problem, but for other states, which we drop below freezing level, those plants will not make it. I don't care if the label says, zone 4 or 5, came from a seed. So we lose the hardiness. When I get that specific variety, we need to cut it from that thing. Even those over there, when I went the same variety, I need to get it from a carrier in order to keep the same characteristics. And there is no diseases really. Animals don't like it, especially deer. If you live in an area where you have a lot of deer around you, deer don't eat it, don't like it. However, it's not a repellent. People think, why would plant a lot of lavender around my vegetable garden and the deer would go away? No, the deer is not going anywhere. It will come, eat all your vegetables, and leave the lavender alone.
Okay.
So it's not a repellent. It is a mosquito repellent when you buy that oil. When you put the oil in a diffuser, you are in your patio, and you don't want these mosquitoes away, you connect that to the electricity. The mosquitoes are not coming. So it's a mosquito repellent, yes. Lavender water, when we collect all these flowers, we'll be making our oil, essential oil. So we collected the two byproducts, which is the lavender oil and is the lavender, the hydrosol, the lavender water. Lavender water, we can keep it in the shell because, especially right here, it's a sun cream protection. So women use it a lot to go to the ocean and use some kind of natural product instead of using all these chemicals, and works perfect. The oil, I mean, it's bee stings, scorpions, oil headaches, migraine, stress, sleeping problems. The oil will fix all your problems. Questions?
So which varieties are the best for this environment?
If we want to talk about botanical names, we have Grosso. That's a botanical name. It's a French variety, next intermediate. And it's this one right here, the darkest purple. That's the Grosso. You can see it by yourself how it's blooming and growing. And the best one that do even much better is called Provence. That's another botanical name for, it's a French one. And it's this one right here. See, more lighted color. Uses, looks, attractions a little different. For some states, they are using Provence as a culinary one because they cannot grow the true varieties because the heat. Right here, I don't see being a problem. We need to grow the right ones. But other states, like New Mexico, an example, and Texas, they cannot grow the true lavender, which is the English varieties. So they use Provence, and Provence is growing wonderful. They can use it for culinary purposes, which they cut the flower, dry it, process it, and send ice creams and cookies and meat and all that. And it's okay because the oil content is very sweet tasting versus Grosso is like it's way too high. That's way too strong. But I see they grow in 6. We can grow up to 50 varieties right here. Everybody will be a little different, but I can see the sign that we can bring up to 50 varieties to this climate, and they will be growing just fine for the tourist attraction, mainly, because you can be able to see different colors, from white to bloom to pink. All those varieties will grow. The main for the agritourism, the main concern is, can I grow it for a commercial level? Which that's when we have to really find the right ones to do it right for a commercial level. And that's when we focus more in the Provence and Grosso, very, very careful in the true ones, because I don't know for how many years they can last. It's a lot of work putting all this together, and then in 5 years later, they will be not giving me what I was expecting. So that's the decision we make when we build businesses like this. But you can see 4 years already on the way, and they are still producing wonderful flowers.
Is it 4 years old?
Right, 4 years old. So it will be interesting to see 4 years from now how they are. You know, so Anna will measure year 1, year 2, year 3. You have to follow, you know, the plant. When the plant hits the 10 years, I want to see if the plant's looking exactly like it is right now. In my experience, that will be not the case. We'll be losing flowers. Now for you, for the garden, it's fine. See, but you are not collecting the oil, you are not collecting the bundle, you are not paying all these people to come, and then you are not getting that product. So, yes, I don't want her to do that. She needs to keep buying from me every single plant. I will never teach her that. I'm kidding. You can teach you anything you want. Maybe today I asked her for a job. I said, Anna, can you hire me? I can come here and talk to people all day long But just that, just talk to people. I don't want to be harvesting. That's a lot of work. So, yeah, we talk about the water being the only thing that kills lavender. There's no diseases involved. Lavender is lovely. You gotta make sure that you are not allergic to. Some people is allergic to the lavender. But 98% they love the lavender.
Did you say it's used as a sunscreen?
The hydrosol. You have hydrosol in the store?
Yes.
Just grab it. All your body. It's come from the plant.
And then you smell
It's a
it.
natural product, byproduct from the plant. See? And then that's it. Sand on. I mean, this lavender is still new for a lot of places, a lot of people. You know, if you go to Sequim, I mean, they all know that. I mean, people using it all the time. That's why we cannot keep it in the shelf, right? Because people just buy. They don't go and buy. They buy 5 or 6, so they buy by the gallon. See, like in my case, I buy it by 55 barrels, the hydrosol. Then I just sell it with the oil on the little, because I don't produce the oil. I'm not big enough to produce the oil. My specialty is to produce the live lavender plant, up to 150 varieties in my nursery. And lemonade. Hey, lemonade. Thursday. Somebody wants to lemonade?
Yeah. Very good.
We recommend it.
So, I see these ones are like planted in like dirt. Did you put soil first?
Right here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the natural.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you just dig a hole, plant a plant.
Para planting many, get a tractor, plow, donation thing. But you only planting 1 or 2. You gotta make sure.
Yeah. Just like one.
Yeah.
So just like a shovel.
Yes, the roots grow only 12 inches deep. That's all. These big plants, they don't go more than 12 inches deep. That's all you care. So as you dig in a hole, make sure to get 12 inches
Love it.
of good drainage by maybe 24 inches wide.
Just dirt. You don't have to put like this.
Nothing if you know that you don't have a wet soil. See? As long as you know for sure, 100% that you don't have a wet soil, you're okay. And if you don't get 24 inches of snow, you get snow here?
No,
No?
no. What's that? Yeah, back in '99.
I get 3 feet of snow. Do the snow bother the lavender? Nope. Some states, those plants get buried for months. Snow on top of those plants.
Wow.
And those plants are just fine. Actually, those plants are the ones that live the longest.
Wow.
But remember, they need to have a well-drained soil because the snow melts, becomes water, so the water gotta go somewhere.
Yeah.
And then when the plants start growing up, sometimes the plants don't come back and they think it's the cold. No, it was the snow, the water that hits the soil, and that soil was not good enough for lavender, so the roots rot.
Is there a time of the season that the plant goes to sleep? Just sits there, doesn't do nothing?
Yeah, he asked a really good questions. I wish everybody asked me a question like that. Yes, in order for the plant to bloom, needs to go dormant. If the plants never go dormant, they will never bloom. In what sense the plants go dormant? The winter. So I see this plant right here. I'm pretty sure we get really cold in the winter, right?
Yeah.
We go down to the freezing level, down to the 35, 32, right? Right, Anna?
Sometimes, yeah.
Because if that was not the case, I don't see this plant looking like that.
Ah.
See? So the reason that this plant looks so beautiful and big is because we get the 2 climates right here. The problem is when the summer comes, it's just way too much. See? And for other states, we don't get 80s. 80s, 90s maximum for the lavender industry would be perfect. You can have a lavender fields blooming forever. But the heat is the one that tells the plants, that's it. I'm going to give you 10 years, the plant give up or don't produce the same flower that used to produce back in the early years.
So when they go to sleep, is there anything you have to do to them, or you just let them sleep?
No, they need to cut the flowers.
También?
That's very important. Before winter comes, flowers are not on the plant. They may come and machine or hay trimmer, sickles, everything they can find, and they cut every single flower. So now it is already October. By October, in this climate, no flowers should be on the plants. So now you prepare the bush to go dormant. And I want to be aggressive right here. I don't want to be afraid of the more you cut, the better the plant times. Because I don't want to see any green foliage. I want to see woody. I want to see the sticks on the plant. So we need to be aggressive here. That way the plants, it's less stress for the plant. Plant go dormant, start building flowers through the winter time. The spring start coming and start shooting all these new green, new flowers. And the plant will produce longer if you do those things. If you don't trim, the plant will not produce.
Another dumb question here.
Oh, it's a great question.
When you talk about trim, how do you trim it? I've seen some of the guys cutting with, hand by hand, but do you guys use any machinery or no machinery?
That is the very last subject that we'll do. When you guys have no more questions and you think we're done, we'll go over there and we'll trim together half of the plant, and you will get free flowers. How about that?
Cool.
But just don't tell anybody.
Oh.
If you somebody seeing with a flower walking, I don't know where you get. I don't know. Somebody got some guy over there. See? So we'll do that, and we'll learn how low and how aggressive we need to be. I don't want to be afraid right here in this type of climate. I need to trim those plants really hard back in October, especially for the commercial production. It's not a case for, other states. Everybody from California here?
Yeah.
Good. Because then you go home and say, you told me to trim it that way. Yes, but you are in Ohio. Yeah, you are in New York or Wisconsin. No, you don't trim that way. And you don't trim in October. No, you trim earlier. You trim early September. And you don't be so aggressive. So might as well wait until the spring. But right here, you don't have snow. You don't have these trucks sleeping in the highway. You don't get any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Right here we are dealing with the heat, and that's the problem we are facing right here in this climate. How can we cut the heat? There's no way. We can change this, but we cannot change this.
Yeah.
The soil, we can change it. We can fix it, we can do it, but we cannot change it. Other than bring the right varieties, other than follow these little tips to help the plant go a little further. Even that, the plant eventually, that's it. I have not seen lavender plant producing more than 10 years in California, in the valley. Now California have mountains, beautiful mountains.
Yes.
And that's different. Still California, but that's different. Now they get snow. California get a lot of snow. You just don't get it here.
Yep.
See, but if we just go a little to the
Couple mountains, yeah.
mountains, now you get a snow well. Lavender is growing up there.
Wow.
And they produce beautiful, and they never replace, and all that stuff. But I don't see any trees right here. We need to plant some trees here. Eh? I don't see any trees. We
No.
need to plant some trees right here. Lavender looks beautiful under the trees when the trees are so spread out.
Okay.
Not all together. We plant trees here, and then the trees change the whole looks and also bring some fresh and some shady, little bit of shady for the lavender, which helps the lavender to stay more happy.
What's your next project, Anna?
Sorry,
More
Anna.
lavender.
You're a lavender person, not a tree person, huh?
I know there's a separate bee seminar, but are you going to talk about bees at all?
Me, no.
Okay.
All I know about bees is that they love lavender.
Yeah.
And that when we are harvesting the lavender, we have millions of bees right there.
Yeah.
We go and the bees keep moving and moving and moving, one plant for another. and nobody wants to cut the last plant. Nobody wants to. You cut it. No, you cut it. Nobody. Because the bees are ready to go.
Yeah.
The honeybees, if you don't bother them, they don't bother you. So no, the bees are coming after me.
Yes.
Yeah, the bee guy is coming after me. I would recommend you that, and then I would highly recommend to go and try the lavender honey. You have lavender honey for sale.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we have lavender honey. A little bit left. You still have plant left? We have a lot of plant left. And if you buy everything, you will get a deal. But you need to buy every single plant. That way Anna can buy more from you.
You come with the plants too?
He's here.
Yeah.
One day, I mean, if somebody hires me, I will talk to Anna. Maybe I come and work for her.
Yeah.
Maybe we have plans for greenhouses right here. So, questions this way, questions that way, questions this way.
Good.
This way, we guys want to go and cut the lavender plant.
Yeah.
Do it.
You don't have the better trimmer.
That's a great trimmer.
Yeah, we even have a better one. We even have a better one. But I have this trimmer and I have another
I
trimmer.
want one now.
This one is better.
Sunjoe.
Did you charge it? Ah, yeah.
There you go.
See? You guys want to go and see how we trim and why we trim and how long we trim?
I
Yes.
want to see it.
We're going to show us how we do the cuttings for pumpkin.
Well, very quick.
11:40.
Yeah, to propagate. We need to have a right mix. I mean, this is what we have just to show you, but we need to have a really good drainage mix to make a new lavender plant. Important to have bottom heat. You can buy heated mats connected to electricity, and you have the heat. Again, full sun or sunroom or little shop, as long as you have the light going through. And then when we trim in October, now this plant will start shooting a lot of green. Those are the cutting side ones. The one that will be coming on the fall. All those are the cutting.
Yeah.
And like in my case, I propagate from October to April.
Yeah.
And when April comes, I have close to 500,000 cuttings.
Victor, another question. Sorry. You said plant trees. Is there certain trees that the lavender says they can't just grow next, or it doesn't matter what tree? Or is there a tree that you say no?
No cedars. No cedars, because the cedars, there's oil. There is oil in the cedars. So they drop all these leaves and everything, and the lavender will not like that oil.
Okay.
Other than that, trees that don't drop too many leaves, stays evergreen, and you can use it for a shady, as
Right.
long as it's not super big and you have the lavender there. When I plant trees that move, the shade moves.
Gotcha.
That's only to help the lavender stay a little cooler. We need to look for everything out there. I mean, right here is very easy, but other states, like in the Carolinas, I mean, we plant lavender under the trees. And the lavender is doing the job for the customer. All you just make sure that do that your job. Who cares about, no, they don't grow straight and beautiful, but the color is still there, the magic is still there, the smell is there, the looks is there, everything is there. It's just sometimes grow a little more towards the light, because lavender also grows the light. But there's a light and it's producing.
Cool.
Pretty straightforward, huh?
So if it is October and now I will be propagating, I normally propagate from big ones, but we can also propagate from a tiny thing like this. And if it is October, I will be cutting a healthy cutting. Like this would be a new plant for me. With all the brown leaves and the tabs, and when I get half an inch of the hardwood, and I want to make everything will be moist or wet. That way, catch all the green hormones and it stays on the green. And I will just bury it, that part of the hardwood. I will just bury that in the soil that deep. And the hard part will be to keep this moist, not wet, not dry. So that is the hard part of propagating. Takes about 6 weeks for this plant to start shooting all these roots. So it takes about 6 weeks for this plant to die. One of the 6 weeks is even dead, so it's alive. When it's dead, call Victor.
Okay, yeah.
So that's how we do it. It takes only about 6 weeks for that to be ready to go in the ground or bigger pot. And that's how I do it. But I have little flat that fits like 200 in each. In each of these I can feed 200 plants. And my tables are all heated. I heat my table with hot water. But for the small scale customer, there is heated mats that you just buy. Set those in the heated mat, you have the bottom in. That's how you make a new lavender plant. And every variety is different.
Mm-hmm.
Like the French ones are always easy, fast rooted. Grosso, Provante, very easy to propagate, very easy to root. Other ones, it takes longer and really harder to do it. That answers your question.
Yes, sir.
You own that DJ?
Yeah, yes.
I want to work for you.
Come on down.
Yeah, I want to work for you. I'm tired of lavender. Okay.
And I want to work for you. I'm tired of
We'll trade. We go and cut the half of the lavender.
Okay. Let's do it. Vamos a ver un poquito de cómo se corta. ¿Está mi hat, loco? Check it out, eh. Vamos a ver cómo se corta el lavender. Guys, this is how you cut the lavender. Got a little tutorial here.
The brown, the woody part, I need to hit that line right here in California. In other states, I need to stay a week, like 2 inches, depends where we locate. But right here, see that we're changed from brown to green.
Yeah.
I want to try to find my stack and cut it right there. I don't want to go below because I need to leave green, but that's the line I need. And this will be happening in October. Like these people here will be harvesting next week. The plant will bloom back again. And they may be cutting again in September. Maybe the plant will start showing more green. In the month of October, I come and I make a really nice, aggressive cut. Don't be afraid. See, so yesterday I cut this one right here. This is about right, but this is still too high.
Mm-hmm.
So I still need to cut that. I still need to cut more.
You said that's not the aggressive cut, right? That's just
Yeah,
right.
this is the aggressive
Oh,
cut,
okay.
but this is still too high.
Okay.
So you start seeing brown here.
Yeah.
And just that with one of these, when can I finish?
Yeah,
Looks
that's
like
it.
a little hedgehog.
Yeah. But I need to buy my big one,
Uh-huh.
right? I put my big one in big blade and go. Okay? But right now I will just harvesting. I'm not trimming. I'm harvesting my flowers. See, one thing is cutting the flowers, the other one is trimming. It's two different things.
Mm-hmm.
See, they want to collect my nice, beautiful bouquets. This is still like, this is only like a half of the bouquet. Each bouquet, my hand should fit tight. See, if it is loose, because remember, when
Yeah.
I dry this will shrink by 25%. So when this is dry, now I end with this bouquet.
Oh, okay.
I lost all this. So when it's fresh, and I only want to cut it once. So at the beginning, I cut my bouquet once. That way I'm not playing around later on. It's big. Later on when it's dry, okay? What I need to do is
Trim
make
the
it
top.
pretty, make something nice right here, and I will be charging you $12 a piece. Will you complain? No. See? But today you will get free
Okay.
flowers, and this Caos Grosso is one of the strongest. Smell it, smell it. Can you smell something?
Yeah.
See? I even smell it through here. Even you get free flowers.
All right, man.
So Anna,
Even Anna gets free flowers.
do you make
Okay.
the oil?
Huh?
Anna, do you make oil?
Oh,
You do here, huh?
Who wants flowers?
Distill.
I want to smell.
Anybody
Smells
want
good.
flowers back here?
I'm sorry.
Smell it.
Thank you.
This would put you to sleep.
This will put you to sleep.
Well, they sick and tired of lavender. Don't talk to them about lavender right now. So this, but this is just cutting the flowers, and then all these will shoot more. So if it's October now, I need to be aggressive with this one. Because when you do this, now the plants stay nice, healthy, and when the winter comes, you don't see, because if you don't cut it low, all these spikes that you see, they will die and make the plant looks ugly. So those two yellow, pink. And
I don't mean to be a girl, but what do you call that thing?
this called a trimmer.
A trimmer.
Hedge trimmer.
A hedge trimmer.
You can buy it at Home
Thank you
Depot.
very much.
You can buy it at Home Depot.
I know hammer. That's pretty much
Okay.
it.
Oh, you know it's hammer?
I know what a hammer is.
You know what a hammer
A
is?
screwdriver. I have no idea what that is. Now I know.
So anyway, that's how you trim.
See the transition right here?
Thank you for coming. I will see you 2 o'clock next year.
2 o'clock. We'll see you.
2 o'clock?
Thank
Dos.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Victor. Gracias. Thank you. Bueno. Bueno, mis amigos, ahí tuvieron un poquito de entrenamiento de algo de Lavender, para que conozcan un poquito de esta planta, ¿eh? Bueno, nos estamos viendo, gracias.